What's up guys, welcome back to the content creation, what is going on with my hair? Content creation part 3 video. I filmed this yesterday and I had the window open, and while I was filming it started raining and my hair started at the beginning of the video like pretty silky overall, a little flatter than it is right now, and by the end of the video it was like literally out to here because it's so humid right now. Yeah, not that it's really doing that much better today. I mean, I'm currently sitting in my new guest room, which I absolutely am obsessed with being in because the vibes are so good. I feel like you guys can't see my eyes, but I'm obsessed with being in here. The vibes are just so good. If you guys want to see the full renovation, it's not really a renovation, but like upgrading our guest room, if you want to see that video, I will link it down below. Without further ado, welcome to the content creation part 3 video. Okay, so a couple things before we dive in. I want to go over what we're covering and also a couple little ideas slash thoughts on the feedback I got from the last video. First things first, in this video I'm going to cover how I get inspiration for my content. I've been getting a lot of DMs saying like, okay, I understand how you plan your content and how you plan a content day and XYZ, but how do you get inspiration for that? And like, where do you get your photo ideas from? So I'm going to go over that. I think that this will be super helpful for you. Everything that I'm putting in that section of the video is what I did. If you go back on my Instagram, you'll see a switch from where I had like more generalized like workout content to more creative content, and that switch came because of what I'm going to share in this video. And the other thing I'm going to share is my favorite apps for like editing photos, videos, etc. I'll show you guys like how I use them and everything, and then I'll go into some of the Q&A questions as well. Couple little side notes before we get started. One, I ended up going back to that photo taking course that I mentioned in the last video. I watched all the videos in the course A to Z, and basically the information is really good and I know it can really help a lot of you guys, but for some reason I thought it was necessary to like scream in all the videos. I feel like I'm talking so ridiculously loud in them, and I also put a filter over the video and I don't have the raw footage anymore. I don't know why I did that, but I can't go back and undo it, and quite frankly I don't feel like refilming all those videos when I have them. So there's 4 videos. I talk about lighting, angles and layouts. I talk about taking photos of yourself and some posing and things like that. And then the other one is about gear and equipment. It would definitely be super helpful. A lot of the photo questions I get are answered in there. Like I said, I watched every video A to Z, and it actually was, there was a little extra fluff I could have probably left out in regards to me rambling about stuff, but overall it has a lot of good information, like things that I forgot I even like knew, you know what I mean? And then in regards to the ebook course, a lot of positive feedback on that. So it'll be a video course, but with a lot of like screen recordings and like voiceover explanations that I can show you what I'm doing on the computer. That will not be available though for like a month or 2 because I have to start from scratch with that. So I will keep you posted. And the third thing, I know that I was going to announce like what I'll be doing for the upcoming balance collection in regards to like what I'm giving to anybody who uses my link, but I think it would be more suitable for the unboxing vid. So I will share it with you there, but it's a super cute idea and you guys are going to absolutely love it. It's turning out better than I expected it to be honest, which I'm very happy about. So I will definitely share that in the unboxing vid. But without further ado, let's dive in. Where is the freaking page? I have the video outline, but I can't find it. My armpits stink. Yeah, whenever I eat onions, my armpits stink, but I love onions. All right, is my hair, am I gonna like this? Thanks, bae.
You got it.
Love you.
Cost you one kiss.
If you guys don't drink Bulletproof, you need to try it. So, where I get inspiration, how I get ideas. So, the biggest tip that I have for this is that you need to follow pages outside of the industry that you're in. And this was a huge switch for me. It was also kind of hard for me because I always feel bad unfollowing people or like not following people back. I like to support everybody and show appreciation to everyone. Like for most of you guys, like I connect so well with all of you, and I wish I could follow all of you back and like all of your stuff, but the reality is that I probably wouldn't even see half of it because that's how Instagram is now, but I wish I could. The point in saying all that and rambling is that I know it is kind of weird to unfollow people, especially if it's someone that you used to be connected well with on Instagram or something like that, but at the end of the day, if you don't connect well with what somebody is posting now, or if you don't feel inspired by them or you don't connect well with them, they're not serving much of a purpose in your following, you know, category. Does that make sense? That's not the right verbiage, but you get what I'm saying. You want to be following people that truly inspire you, and you want those people to be outside of your industry if possible. Given I do follow probably 20 health and fitness accounts or 20 like fitness accounts to get workout ideas and stuff like that, but most of the people that I follow are photographers, recipe bloggers, videographers, travel bloggers, fashion bloggers. If you are constantly getting inundated with all of the same types of people as you in regards to the kind of person you are on Instagram, with the kind of brand you're trying to build, the products you want to create, etc., you can't think outside of that box, because let's say you're trying to create an ebook, or that's your next step, or you're trying to create a coaching program or something like that, and all you follow is other people that do that. You don't have that space in your mind to think of ideas outside of that, because all you're seeing is all these different ideas of what everyone in your industry is doing, and it makes you feel pressured to do the same thing, or it makes it harder to think of different ideas. You want to get inspiration and ideas from people outside of your industry, and then try to put a twist on that type of content for the industry that you're in. Does that make sense? I'll get Instagram story inspiration from like photographers or from travel bloggers, but then I'll put like a health and fitness twist on that kind of content, or I'll put like a content creation twist on that kind of content. It just helps you stick out in the industry that you're in, because you're getting inspiration from a different industry. So get your inspiration from other types of people. I encourage you, after this video, go find like 20-30 pages that you really feel inspired by, with things that you really enjoy seeing, whether that's DIY stuff, real estate, traveling, whatever it is. Just find inspiration from outside of the industry that you're in. Tip number 1, done. Tip number 2, you want to create a folder on your Instagram, as you guys see mine right here, that has all of your saved photos of photos that you really like and content that you really like. This is basically just to help give you ideas on those days that you are planning content, because you can go to this folder, scroll around, and see if there's anything that day, or the next day, whatever, that you can try to recreate. And of course you can do that in your own way. You don't have to like every single aspect of the photo or try to recreate every aspect of the photo, but if you like the outfit, or if you like the backdrop, or if you like the pose, or if you like just the photo in general, you can save that and then try to recreate it. I think especially at the beginning of creating different types of content and getting more creative with your content, this is super, super huge, because it takes some of that thinking out of it for you if you just try to recreate what someone else did in your own way, of course, and then from there you'll learn as you go. So I use these all the time. I love to revert to this folder whenever I'm traveling, because a lot of the photos that I have saved are travel blogging type photos, and I use it on content days, and then I also use it for like event specific things. So for example, last year we went to Key West. I knew that we were going parasailing. I had never been parasailing, let alone taking a selfie of me and Ben while parasailing up in the air. So I went on Instagram, searched the hashtag parasailing, and then saved a couple photos of couples doing it together, and then just tried to recreate that when we were in the air, and it worked really well. Yeah, this is definitely super helpful just to get inspiration, especially until you get more comfortable with it. And kind of just bouncing off that, for searching for like ideas, like I said, I searched parasailing. The 3 biggest ways that I recommend searching a certain type of topic like that is on Instagram with hashtags, just basic on Google, just search images, and then also searching on Google but with the word Tumblr, T-U-M-B-L-R, because Tumblr is like a creative, it was like an older social media. Like I loved it when I was in high school. It's kind of like Instagram, but with more of like a blog style, but so much creative photography is on that. So it's really cool to get ideas and just get some inspiration. Also really good if you're making a vision board. But yeah, that is my second tip, is just to save all the photos of any content that you feel inspired by or really like into one folder. And then my third tip in regards to thinking of your content and getting inspiration is just to consistently exercise your creativity in all different ways. A lot of people say like, oh, like I wish I was that creative, or I'm not very creative, but as human beings, we're all innately born as creative individuals, and with creativity, it's just whether or not you exercise it. And the people who exercise it more are the ones who come off as more creative, but it's not that somebody is more or less creative, it's that somebody's worked at it more and therefore it comes off that way. But yes, some people are naturally, I think, more creative to an extent, but you have, no matter what, everybody has to exercise it. I recommend doing that in all different ways. Like, I redid this room as a way to exercise my creativity. Yes, it could have been as simple as just doing a DIY project. It didn't have to be a whole room, but nonetheless, just exercising your creativity in so many different ways, whether that's thinking of a recipe or trying a new type of fashion, or literally just getting on Tumblr and browsing around, or watching certain creative types of videos on YouTube, whatever it is, just getting inspiration, trying different things, drawing. Even if you suck at drawing, you're doing a DIY paint wine night at home from like a YouTube video, something like that. Anything at all to do with creativity is going to help build like your confidence in your creativity, but also just naturally help you exercise your creativity. And then when you're trying to be creative in moments like creating content, it's going to come a lot more natural to you. Again, it's always going to get easier over time, but you have to exercise that creative muscle in your brain and in your body in as many different ways as you can. I totally just lost my train of thought and I have to burp. And I really want a sip of coffee. Just kind of bouncing off that too, you want your living space to inspire you, and that's why I would never come in this room before I like changed everything, because I just didn't feel inspired by it. It just needed a freaking upgrade to like my vibe now. You want in general your living space to inspire you and to make you feel creative. Like, if you don't feel creative in your environment, you need to spice it up. And if you seriously ever need ideas, I love looking at a room and trying to give people ideas for it. So if you ever need ideas, seriously, let me know. But you want your living... That is a big freaking spider. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. That's big. Keep my eye on that. Make Ben come kill it. Yeah. Okay. But, yeah. I do encourage a living space that inspires you. Even like at least have one room in your house. If maybe you can't renovate your whole entire house right now, even though you want to, or your whole apartment, at least do one room so that you can like go to that room whenever you want to create and you can just like get in your vibe, you know what I mean? Yeah, those are my 3 tips for getting inspired and getting ideas for creating content. And now we are going to move on to my favorite social media apps for photography and for videography. All right, so the first app is called Splice. It's a video editor. It's what I use for all of my workout video posts. And I did get some questions in the Q&A on how, I'm like freaked out about that spider. I did get some questions about how I make my video posts for Instagram, like where it goes like right from the first photo into the video, and like how I do the words and everything. So I'm going to add that to the part 4 or possibly part 5 video, like a full tutorial, but I do use Splice for all of that, and I absolutely love the app. I know there's other good video editors for phones now, but I've used that for so long and you can just do so much with it. I feel like it's kind of like a mini Final Cut on your phone, but in a very simplified fashion, and I just love, like I said, like how much you can do with it. So I recommend getting Splice. I do think you have to pay for it now, which you didn't used to have to pay for it. That made no sense. I think it's $2.99 a month or something. It's not much at all, and it is worth it if you're doing video posts and you want to have that little extra like photo video kind of flair. But yeah, I would recommend looking into Splice for sure. Second app is called Lightroom, which is the photo editing app that I use. It's also the app that I have my presets available for. It's a free app unless you want to upgrade to get a couple extra features, which you definitely don't need. I do have the upgrade if anyone's wondering, and I absolutely love it. I use it all the time, but you don't need it whatsoever. The best photo editing app there is. If you are unfamiliar, I do have a full pack of presets that you do use on Lightroom. You get 12 presets, photo taking tip ebook, and then an editing tip ebook as well. Full instructions on how to transfer the presets to your phone in like a super simplified fashion. I'm really into that term today, I guess. Yeah, if you use the code YouTubeFam, you can save $10. I will link the presets down below. Once you buy the presets, everything else is free and you can use them on Lightroom. So either way, I recommend Lightroom, best app ever. Next app is called Plan, which I mentioned in my last video. It's basically just one of those like Instagram planning apps. You can schedule your post, put your caption in there like ahead of time. Again, I don't use it for that. I just use it to see my feed and like see what photos go well. I don't know. I just wanted to add it because I do use it, but I don't use any other apps like that, never have, and I don't know if you would use that consistently, but I like it. Okay, this one's super random. It's called Mextures, and it's basically for like adding like texture to your photos. So if you want to add like an aged, like a what's the word, like a 70s style, what's that called, like aged film, like a film gradient or like a grain to your photo or something like that, you can use Mextures. And still watching that spider. And they just have a lot of cool like texture, not filters, but like texture overlays for your photos. It's kind of fun to just like mess with if you're trying to get creative with a photo, so I really like that. Next is called Unfold, which I've also mentioned, but basically everybody who's building a brand on Instagram or just wants to make some cool Instagram stories needs Unfold because they have so many different templates. You can change the background. They have so many cool text that you can add to it. You can add video or photo, so like you can have literally anything on there. Like it's just, you can do so many things with it. It's too much to even explain, but I definitely recommend that. I do pay for that as well. I think it's $4 a month or something, and 100% worth it because you can use like anything on the app. Then lastly is Canva. So I know that I always talk about Canva for ebook design, which is what will be in the ebook course. I'll be using Canva for that. Canva also has an app, and for me personally, this could be because I have so many designs on my account, but the app goes really slow. I'm not sure if it would go faster if you have less designs, but nonetheless, Canva is absolutely amazing. And I don't think I've gone a day in the past year and a half without doing something on Canva. I use it for everything. Now, I don't know if it would be slow on your phone too, but it's really slow on mine, but I love it. So I usually just do everything for Canva on my computer though. That is all the apps that I recommend. I try to keep things pretty simple. So moving on to some Q&A questions. Big bird, big spider, small coffee, stinky armpits, long ass video. Yeah, so basically I didn't realize how many questions there were. So I might be making a part 5. So I got this question a couple times about posing, like ideas for posing or like how do you pose, etc. Kind of is very person dependent. Like everybody has their own poses that like make them feel confident and look, you know, feel their best self. But I will add that into one of the next videos physically. I'll show you bug. I do encourage, no matter who you are, to practice your poses in the mirror, and you will feel kind of silly at first, but it seriously makes content days a freaking breeze if you know your like go-to poses. I like literally practice in front of the mirror, and the more you do it, the better you'll get. But that is definitely what I did at first to kind of just like get like my couple go-tos. If you go to my page, a lot of it's very consistent. I do a lot of the same stuff, but that's because that's what makes me feel my best. So practice in the mirror. I will share some of my favorite poses in another video. Okay, yeah, my camera overheated. Okay, next question, tips for editing your photos. What do you use? How do you find your niche for Insta engagement? So tips for editing your photos: don't over edit. Make sure you're taking high quality photos. If you're using your phone, use the front, like this front camera. I go over more of this in the photo course. And also always try to be in natural lighting if possible. In regards to actually editing it, I really always, no matter how good of quality the photo is, I always sharpen it and I always increase the clarity just a little, because that will make your photo just like a little better quality in like regards to the pixels and stuff. There's some tips for editing. I personally use my preset pack on every single photo. Literally, like it's all I use. I typically do black coconut or desert palms. Desert palms I probably do the most. Milk and coffee is also great for coffee photos or like dessert photos, but yeah, I use my preset pack. It's linked down below with the discount code. It's not really about finding your niche for Insta engagement. It's more about finding your niche for the brand that you're building, because it doesn't matter necessarily who's commenting your stuff and who's engaging on your stuff. It matters who sees your stuff. So focus on posting content that's relevant to the niche that you're trying to attract, and what kind of content you like to share, because inevitably if you're trying to build a certain brand, you want it to be content that you love sharing. To get engagement within your niche, if that's really what you're going for, you need to comment on people's stuff within your niche. You don't, I mean, of course, engage with anybody, but you really want to focus on commenting on people's stuff within your niche. And I know you might be thinking, well, oh, you just told us to not follow too many people in your industry. You don't have to be following everyone to engage. Like you can go on hashtags and engage on other people's stuff. You don't have to be following everyone. Follow people within your industry that inspire you. Follow people outside of your industry, but nonetheless, like follow or engage on people's stuff that follow you. like go to their pages, like their stuff, reply to their stories, and like be a support for them and like a friend to them, you know what I mean? So that is 100% what I recommend. It's just like the more you engage, the more people engage with you. And also, like, yes, you want to, still watching, that's better. You want to engage on people's stories and Instagrams and stuff that have huge followings. But if you are trying to get a lot of engagement on your stuff, you want to also be engaging with a lot of people that are around the same like spot as you in regards to, let's say you have 1,000 followers, you want to be engaging with a lot of people that have, you know, 500 to 2,000 followers. If you have 10,000, etc., because those are the people that are just like kind of your crew right now. Like, you are at the same spot with them, you're grinding this whole thing out with them, so support them and they'll support you back 9 times out of 10. Yeah, I could go into a lot of different types of depth with niching down, but yeah, that's what I'm saying for now. Do you plan content in advance? Yes, I talk about that in my last 2 videos, which are linked down below. I do take in the moment content too, I just haven't been doing that as much recently. Programs and equipment to use for photos, etc. Programs would be Lightroom, and I prefer Final Cut. Adobe's also really good. And then if you don't need like anything crazy, like if you're not doing like a ton of editing and stuff for videos, you can just use iMovie 100%. And then best equipment, I talk about all of this in the photo taking course, but literally at minimum, you literally just need your iPhone. Like, as long as it's a decently new iPhone, that is genuinely enough. But ring lights can be helpful, tripods can be helpful. Like I said, all of that is in the course, but you really don't need much. You need a phone at minimum. How do you create a really cool intro to your Instagram and YouTube videos? That is something that I can't verbally explain. What I would recommend is, if you are not very good at editing, if you're newer to editing, you should hire someone to do it if that's something that's important to you. Otherwise, watch editing videos. I'm always trying to learn how to do different effects and stuff in my videos, and the more you learn about editing, the easier creating an intro would be. If it's ever something you don't feel like you can do yourself, you can always hire somebody. A couple more tips for taking high quality photos. Always use, like I said, this camera. Always be in natural lighting. I go over all of this in a ton of depth in the photo taking course, and this is what I'm saying. Like, I know that it genuinely would be really helpful for you guys. And then, like, a camera obviously is going to be the best quality. I have the Sony A5000 and I absolutely love it, but you really don't need anything crazy. You just need good lighting, a clean lens, and I talk about it more in the course because I could just go in a ton of depth on that. To make your Instagram look professional, you want to have, like, at the end of the day, you want to have like an underlying consistent vibe. Like, for example, with balance, for example, and working with balance, naturally I'm going to be changing up my color scheme to an extent sometimes with like the different colors of the collections, but at the end of the day, my underlying vibe is blacks, whites, grays, neutrals, etc. And you just have to have like some type of theme to it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to use the same filter, the same preset on every single photo, but you want high quality photos. You want an underlying some type of vibe that's super consistent on your page. You want a professional bio and a professional like profile photo. Is that what it's called? Edit profile photo, I think. And yeah, and that will take time to build. Like everything, you'll get better at it over time, but high quality content, good bio, good photo, and that will be super helpful. 2 more questions. How do you use Canva? Your ebooks look so good, but Canva still is usually not cute, haha. I will be sharing in the ebook course, like the video course for creating ebooks, I will be sharing everything through Canva. So it'll be how I create ebooks on Canva, and I'm also probably gonna do a bonus video with just like extra tips on like creating Instagram story templates on Canva and things like that. So stay tuned for that, it'll be super helpful. But again, that's something I can't verbally explain. It's something I have to physically show you with a screen. So yeah, that will all be in the ebook course and will probably be ready like midsummer. How would you approach balance if you're interested in becoming an athlete? Okay, this can be the last question. And if I didn't answer your question in any of the videos yet, I will for sure, but how would you approach balance? So you don't just like reach out to a company and like say like, hey, can I be an athlete by any means? I've worked with probably upwards of 150 different companies for collaborations. Never any company as close as I am with balance in regards to the position that I'm in with balance now, but I've worked with a lot of companies. A couple things that like are non-negotiable to work with any company at any level. The biggest thing is that you support the company and you embody whatever position you want in the company is. You embody the position that you want to be before you are it. So like, For example, I bought Balance for 5 consistent collections before the whole leader search even started. I had a highlight on my page with try-ons. I was engaging on the Balance page. I was engaging on Taylor stuff. I was, you know, commenting on a lot of the leader stuff, not super consistently, but consistently, you know what I mean? Like, not like I do now, but definitely consistently. And I was just supporting the company. I was embodying what it would be like to be an affiliate or a leader before I even was that. And then when the company sees your stuff, like during the leader search, I'm assuming they probably saw, like, I ordered a ton of stuff, I had a try on highlight, I talked about it in a YouTube video on my old channel, etc. They're like, okay, this isn't just a flash in the pan. She got excited about a leader search and decided to apply. Like, she's genuinely already trying to be a part of the community, already embodying what it would be like to be a leader and athlete. And that's what companies are looking for. They want people who can represent their product in a professional, authentic way. And you have to do that before you're actually a part of a company. So whatever company it is, Balance or not, you need to invest in the company. You need to buy the clothing or buy the food, whatever it is, post about it, tag them in it, comment on their stuff, engage with other people that are a part of the company in like a closer relationship, and you need to put yourself out there. Sometimes it is weird, like I have done it with so many companies that I eventually worked with, and some of which I never eventually worked with, but you can't expect a company to give to you, especially a company like Balance that gives so much to their athletes and their leaders, without giving so much for them first. And that's the biggest thing. So I would never approach a company to ask to do a partnership or a collaboration or an affiliation or anything like that if I didn't know that I had a lot to show for. Like, if I was reaching out to like a protein powder company, for example, to do a collaboration, and I had never posted about them, I didn't have them in any highlights, I didn't have anything on my YouTube or anything like that, I would not even reach out to them, because you don't want to ruin your reputation with a company. You want to wait until you have like a solid foundation of sharing the brand and sharing, you know, the mission behind a company before you expect them to give you anything, because they want to see that you truly care, and it's not just like you're trying to be an affiliate of any company that you can, which obviously isn't the case. I understand why anyone would want to be a leader of Balance, but just in general, you want to support the company, and it has to be so real, because if you are an affiliate or an athlete or leader or whatever for a company, especially Balance, for example with this, like, if you're not truly passionate about it, you don't want to be a leader or an affiliate of any company, because you do have to passionately talk about it. You do have to talk about it a lot, and if you don't love it, that's going to get really old really quick. So if you love it, you should already be posting about it, already be sharing it, already be commenting on Balance's stuff, and then eventually the opportunity will come. There's going to be a leader search every single year. They typically, I think, would post if they're accepting affiliates, which I don't know if they do that anymore. I know they used to, but nonetheless, support the company, engage with people, and eventually you can do it. You really can. And I don't want this to like make you feel like, oh shit, like I don't have this, I don't have a highlight, I don't have this, I don't have that. Like, there's no rush, okay? Like, Balance isn't going anywhere, your brand isn't going anywhere. This should be something you're committed to long term if you're passionate about it. And with that being said, like, anything is possible. Just keep that in mind with any company that you want to work with. Invest in the company, share it authentically, incorporate it into your lifestyle, share it with other people, and, you know, the company will see that. 9 times out of 10, a lot of these millennial style run companies understand the importance of human connection and have really, really good social media teams that see everything. So that is my tip for that. I hope that this video is helpful. I thought this would be the shortest one yet. Pretty sure it was the longest one yet, but that's okay. Very glad that I decided to refilm it, because my hair literally in the end of yesterday's video was out to here. It was not okay, so I'm glad I refilmed it. But without further ado, make sure to subscribe if you're new. If you have any thoughts, ideas, etc., please let me know. I probably will have the photo taking course ready by the next video. If not, I'll definitely have it ready by the 5th video. Just had a lot of random stuff come up this week. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Preset code is down below for $10 off. I'm rambling at this point. Come hang on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!